Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Leza Live on the news, 103.5 FM KYCA. How's the team this morning? You just said, Matt just goes, it's your show. I'm like, no, it's our show. We're a team.
Drew?
I mean, my name
There's
is...
no I in team.
I did. Exactly.
There is a I in Leza Live, though.
Well, there is an I in Leza
And
Live.
I got 3 I's in my last name, but that doesn't count.
It definitely takes a village to pull this off, and I couldn't do it without you guys. And you know what? Here's the thing I wouldn't want to.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I tried doing it all by myself when we first started the show. Just me doing this, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm happy that you're here. Does that make you feel better?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
How you doing, Drew? We'll start with you this morning. Don't say it.
Bene.
Oh, he picked
Oh,
something
he's changing
else.
it up.
Yeah,
Bene.
Got to change a little bit.
You got to change it. Other words that you can use for nice, enjoyable, pleasurable, thoughtful, courteous, lovely. Are those the ones where? Oh no. How about good? How about good instead of nice? Excellent.
Or well.
Amazing.
Fantastical.
Wonderful. You always say wonderful.
I know.
Pleasant. How's this one for you, Matt? You feel marvelous this morning.
I was going to go with pleasurable.
Pleasurable. Okay.
I'm not going there.
How about exceptional? Drew, there's one for you. Exceptional.
There you go. I'm going to try that tomorrow.
Try that tomorrow, okay?
Tomorrow.
All right. Okay. What about super? Super. Feeling super. Listen to all those people out in the lobby. They're loud. Don't
It's a
they know we have a
party.
live professional radio show going on right at this moment?
Nope.
I think they're having a party.
I don't think they care.
Did they bring tequila?
Well, it's your dancing partner out there.
Oh yeah, Conrad Jackson's here.
Yeah,
we got
Conrad and
we got
Scott.
the Chiefs in the house.
Yeah.
Chief Dura, Chief Freitag. I feel a little guilty not inviting Chief Bonnie in. You know, when I have the Chiefs in. But anyway, we're talking fire today and wildfire
well,
and preparedness.
But
And
she's special, and she deserves her own show.
yes, she sure does. You're not wrong about that. Back to the words. Terrific. How about stupendous? I want to challenge you to use the word stupendous sometime this morning, Drew.
Okay.
I thought for sure he was going to say, okay, that would be stupendous. Done. That's what I'd have said.
Come on, give me a little bit more credit.
Splendid, outstanding, and terrific. There you go.
I like outstanding.
I do too. Outstanding. That's how I'm feeling this morning. I'm feeling outstanding. I really am. Having a great morning. Hope you all are having a great morning as well. It is Tuesday, September 17th, and it feels like fall. I mean, I'm walking
Thank
up
goodness.
in the KYCA compound to the studio and the station, and there's a chill in the air. I was actually like, I could wear like a sweater this morning.
Compound. You make it sound like this is like some kind of military installation.
Well, it's a compound. It's not just the station. I mean, there's several buildings and
There are.
outbuildings and lots of beautiful landscaping. It's definitely a compound. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say campus.
I'm going with facility.
KYCA campus.
You know,
I really
'cause
like-
facility is more military.
Yeah, no, I don't like facility. I really like compound, though. Why do we have to question everything I say? That's a good question.
I'm just making you have a discussion.
Okay.
Or maybe the Branch Davidian compound. I don't know.
Oh, remember that?
That's kind
See,
of
that's
where
how
I was
think
going.
when I heard
But
camp. That's
Yes.
the first thing that was Branch Davidian.
Man, that was a mess. How long ago was that, Drew? Had to be 30 years ago.
yeah, it is.
For
It's-
sure over 20.
It's
Yeah.
in the
Over
90s.
20. It's been a while.
Wow. All right. If you don't know what we're talking about, Google it. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. How long did that standoff last?
Almost a month.
Oh my gosh. I remember watching the news every day wondering what was going on. Anyway, to happier thoughts. Fall is in the air, is what I was saying.
Yes.
It was chilly this morning.
We
How
were in
low
the
did we
40s.
go? 40s.
We were 47 for Prescott.
Oh my gosh. You know, one of my favorite things to do is to sit out on the back deck, have coffee with Bubba. You know, and I told Bubba this morning, it's too cold. It's too cold to sit outside this morning, Bub. And he looked at me very sad. So I don't know. Does that mean it's over? Sitting on the deck? I mean, is it going to get just colder from here on out
We should stay basically in the 40s for a little bit of time.
for our lows?
Before we really, once we get into the winter, that'll be a little different. But,
Sure.
you know, 45, 47 in the morning with
Yeah.
a nice hot cup of coffee and the dog.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
going to get much. Put a thicker robe on.
That's what I got to do.
Yeah,
I got to put more clothes on. That's a good advice there, Drew.
And you know you're going to be hunting down a sweater for Bubba anyway, so he'll be fine.
I told him today I'm going shopping for a jacket. I know the one I'm going to get. It's at PetSmart. And it's like a... Why do you laugh? My dogs wear clothes, okay? Let's just get that out there.
Because there's certain pet owners,
That dress
my
them.
sister included,
Yeah.
that when she goes shopping, she shops for the dog.
Yeah.
And considering we have you and Lori,
Yeah.
who's, by the way, I think Lori's dog's closet is bigger than most women that I've ever met in my life.
Well, I'm sure bigger than yours.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about Lori here at the station, our
Yeah.
little Dixie May,
Dixie May.
our office dog.
I don't think I've seen her in the same dress twice.
Yeah, well, she
I
wears
know
a dress.
special.
Yeah, she wears a dress every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute. Well, Bubba needs a jacket, and I know which one I'm going to get him, and I told him this morning, I'm going to go get you a jacket, and Scott hates that. He hates
I agree
that.
with Scott.
I know, but you know what? He needs to be warm.
Is it going to be leather like Elvis?
No, it looks like a Letterman's jacket, and it's black and white, and it's so cute. Yeah, and with his white. Anyway, let's talk about things that people care about, shall we?
They
Today,
care about Bubba.
Oh, well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna? One more thing about the weather.
Yes, ma'am.
What is our high going to be today, and what's the rest of the week look like?
The high for today will be 73,
Okay.
which is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
We're going to have winds 15 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight will be light and clear with some light winds. And pretty much we're going to be in the middle 70s the whole week.
Fantastic.
And very, very slight chance of rain towards the end of the week.
Okay. What that wind yesterday was ridiculous.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. The good news, took out all the loose pine needles.
So time to rake them up and get rid of them.
So get it done before we have any issues with any weather.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I saw on the National Weather Service out of Flagstaff that they clocked it at the Prescott Airport at 46 miles an hour.
Yep.
Wow. I believe that.
It was howling.
Yes.
I mean, it was howling.
Yes, it really was. So hopefully not that windy today. I mean,
15 to 20.
okay, I can deal with that. Today is National Voter Registration Day, 49 days until the election. Today, volunteers will knock on doors, stop people on the street, and ask if you're registered. And so if you're not, do it. Get registered. You don't want to miss out on the big vote coming up in November. It is Wife Appreciation Day. Neither of you guys have, you have your girlfriend, right? Or do you call
Well,
her your wife?
Yeah,
Jamie.
Jamie's my sweetheart.
She's your sweetheart. That's
She's
what he
my
calls
sweetheart,
her.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
paperwork-wise, we're not there yet.
Yeah. Well, and have you ever had a wife, Matt?
No, I'm still looking for my first ex-wife.
You're waiting for your first, yeah.
My
And,
first ex-wife, yeah.
And
I thought
that
that
is
was
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson,
Johansson.
right?
Yeah. She's in the list, but she
Yeah.
doesn't know it yet.
Well, she'll.
So
Okay, so when she realizes,
Although-
She's going to come around.
yeah, eventually she will.
I've heard she's an avid listener of the Leza Live show.
Well, of
though.
course she
So, I
is.
mean, who
Who
can't,
isn't?
Yeah, who can't be?
Okay, very, very good thing to say. It's anniversary of the premiere of MASH. Remember MASH? Such a good movie, such a good TV show.
Absolutely.
Yes, I remember watching with my whole family. And we probably, as a kid, probably didn't get half the jokes. But my parents were laughing hard, and that made us laugh along.
I'm in the back of one of those, one of their episodes, because that was filmed off of Highway 126 outside of Magic Mountain, where they did the helicopter scene.
Right?
And behind that was Indian Dunes Motorcycle Park, and they needed people, so they just came out.
Oh, my
There's people
gosh.
walking in the back. I'm one of them.
I love it.
Yeah, but
Look at that.
what a great thing. MASH was wonderful show.
And when it ended, we all cried. Yeah, and that song is just playing in my head right now as I'm speaking.
Da, da,
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
It's National Professional House Cleaners Day. Why does that fall on Wife Appreciation Day?
Somebody's got a sense of humor. That's why.
Yeah, that kind of made me a little confused, but I do have a professional house cleaner. Thank you, Laura. We appreciate you.
I don't have one.
I didn't think you did.
I don't either.
It's National IT Professionals Day, which, man, where would we be without our IT? Something goes wrong, first person you call, usually they are on it. And like I told you, those guys that came and fixed my frame TV, I feel like I'll have a brand new lease on life now that my TV in my bedroom is back to working. So thank you, IT professionals. It's Constitution Day, and it's also super moon and lunar eclipse tonight. Not only do we get a super full moon tonight, but there will also be a lunar eclipse at the same time. NASA says the harvest moon will appear about 8% bigger and 15% brighter than usual as its orbit comes slightly closer to Earth, and shortly after it appears, we'll get between it and the sun, casting a partial shadow on it, which will give the full moon a creepy red crescent. That's going to be cool. Yeah. You got lots of traffic behind you this morning. I can see that. Yeah. That's going to be kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You and Ma Hinshaw can go out and enjoy your cocktail while watching the moon tonight.
Of course.
Yeah,
Well, did they have like what time it's going to be up? Because it was pretty late last night.
No, there's
I was
no
out
time.
running around.
Do you know what time? No.
I'll check.
Okay.
The moonrise.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. So we talked about guacamole yesterday. Chipotle is getting into the AI game. It's putting its robots to work in a couple of California restaurants that can peel avocados in 26 seconds. Listen to the name. Autocado. Instead of avocado, autocado?
Yeah.
That's cute.
It's cute.
Say it.
I'll leave it alone. It's cute.
Autocado. Drew likes it.
But again, people losing their jobs to a robot.
Well, that's true, but it's not easy to peel an avocado, and there's a lot of danger involved. When you pit it, when you hit that knife on it like this, and you twist it. Anyhow, it makes my children nervous when I do that.
You with a knife maybe makes them nervous.
It does. It does. Yes. Chipotle says it expects to go through 5.2 million avocado cases this year at restaurants in the U.S., Canada, and Europe. The program was announced last year, but the machines were just added to the stores. So I know what you're saying. Another robot taking the job of a human being, but that's
Again,
one less job that human being has to do.
I mean, I welcome our robot overlords.
Yeah, you do. I know you do. So I've got some interesting stories. We've got some great guests coming up. Stick around. We've got CAFMA Chief Scott Freitag, Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura, and Conrad Jackson, the Wildfire Risk Manager with the Prescott Fire Department, all coming in this morning. So I'm looking forward to that. But first, one more story to share with you. Not that one. Not that one. It's this one. It's a hot new trend on TikTok. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't have TikTok.
It's actually health advice from TikTok, and it's to start eating dirt. There's even a term for people who do it. They're called crunchers. That's funny.
No.
Why?
No?
Why?
No? Well, they claim it can help with everything under the sun, from improving gut health to reducing wrinkles and curing acne. The idea is it's loaded with all kinds of minerals that are good for you, but experts say it could be dangerous. I mean, when Bubba goes to eat dirt, I tell him no. Maybe I should be telling him yes.
I think that's a bad idea, because if it was okay, then why do we wash our hands all the time?
Right. Good point. Well, they say don't just scoop some dirt out of your yard and chow down.
Oh, great. Now there's a market.
Yeah, there's
Sell
a market.
people
There
dirt.
is.
That's
Normal
what it
dirt
is.
is often loaded with chemicals, rocks, and rusty nails, so you need to buy special dirt called biodynamic soil. Most crunchers prefer it in the form of edible chunks of clay, though. And sites sell it, use flowery language, like saying it has a medium hard crunch and a pleasant earthy taste. I'm saying no thank you. What are you saying?
I'm saying it's another way to take people's money.
Another way to take people's money, yes. I also have the top 5 things eating dirt says about you. You want to hear a couple of them?
Oh, definitely.
It says that the last book I read was by Dr. Seuss, and I didn't finish it. It says I can't use a fork without hurting myself. That's what it says. You're not going to like this one, though. It's on the list. This is a nationwide survey.
Okay.
I graduated from Arizona State.
Well, you don't like that one either.
I don't like it.
Yeah, we both graduated from ASU.
I know.
So.
I know.
We are always, ASU is always the butt of a lot of jokes.
We are.
Including even like Family Guy and The Simpsons.
Yeah, we don't care. We can handle it.
Is that a 4-year university?
Of course it is.
It depends.
Oh, did you see the look she gave me? Oh, man.
Daggers.
Well, don't screw with my Sun Devils.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, it also says I'm only eating this because rocks hurt my teeth, and I'm Rob Gronkowski. That's what eating dirt says about you. On that note, we shall move on. You guys ready?
Leza?
Yes, sir.
We had a listener call in,
Yes.
and I also looked it up.
Yes.
It says the eclipse will be at 8:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So that's what time our time?
That'd be about 5:41 is when it would
5:41.
start. But it's supposed to be up here around 7:41 our time.
7:41 our time.
Our
Okay,
time.
is when we're going to see the actual eclipse.
Right, that's what they're saying, and that's what's on the.
Okay.
That's what Dr. Google just said.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, caller, for calling in to inform us, because Matt and Ma need to get their cocktail ready to go sit on the lawn chair and watch the eclipse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ma already has her first cocktail of the day.
Yeah, what's her morning cocktail? Margarita, a little juice, a
Bloody
little lime
Mary.
juice.
She's a big fan of the margarita.
Of the
Yep,
margarita.
yep.
God bless her. All right. All right, stick around. We have the Chiefs and Conrad coming up next here on Leza Live. Right now, we all know that life is full of surprises, right? But a dental emergency doesn't have to be one of them. When you're in pain, turn to the experts at Pro Solutions Dental Group. Their friendly staff understands that emergencies can happen anytime, anywhere, and that's why they're here for you when you need them the most. With cutting-edge technology and compassionate care, they'll have you feeling better in a flash. Don't let tooth troubles hold you back. Call Pro Solutions Dental Group today and put that smile back on your face. 928-776-1208 or reach them online at PrescottDentist.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. Joining me in studio, I have CAFMA Chief Scott Freitag. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
And we have Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura. Good
Hello,
morning.
good to see you.
And we also have the Wildfire Risk Manager for the Prescott Fire Department, Conrad Jackson. Welcome back, Conrad.
Good morning, Leza.
Where is your fancy outfit that you wore for Dancing for
knew,
the Stars?
I knew you were going to ask about the silver lame. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Is it
No,
retired?
Yes, it's retired.
No, you got to wear that around the house. If people didn't see it, you got to check it out.
I can't even touch that one. Thank you very much.
You guys saw his hot pants, right?
Oh, yes.
I saw pictures, and then I turned away.
You looked away really
Lots
fast.
of pictures.
I love it. I love it. Well, there's a little highlight reel on my Facebook page, and it shows Conrad turning around and showing everybody. So if you missed
Flash
it,
of the derriere.
if you missed it, check it out. But we're here to talk about some serious stuff this morning, and that is the threat of wildfire, and also some good news with this new training facility that the region has put together for CAFMA and Prescott Fire.
Correct.
But first, I would be not doing my job if we didn't talk about the elephant in the room, and that would be the censure of Chief Scott Freitag. I mean, what is going on with that? You were in shock when you heard about it, correct?
I was. Yeah. It's an interesting situation and dynamic unfolding right now in front of us. Clearly, the articles of censure, when you read them, are so far off base from reality and what's happening. We've done so much for our personnel, for firefighter safety, as well as increasing the number of personnel. I will say that there's been statements from the state union that I've not hired one brand new firefighter since 2016. And what I'd like to say is they are correct. We have not hired one. We've hired 33.
33.
So just a small correction in the statements. And then there's some other stuff going on locally. But my hope is that over the coming weeks and months that we're able to get back to the table, sit down, even if it means mediation, so that we can get the CAFMA organization back on track moving forward again for the community. Our folks are still doing great work in the field. As you saw with some recent fires, they're still responding, they're still helping people, and there's no reason that we can't move forward from this as long as we get people back to have a dialogue.
Absolutely. What is the next step?
Well, we have a board meeting next Monday, the 23rd. Hopefully I make it through that meeting.
Okay.
And as long as I do and the stay of execution exists, then I can continue moving forward. Our staff and I spoke yesterday. We have some plans on what it could look like. Start moving the organization forward again. We have to deal with some internal investigations that are about complete in the hostile work environment when I've been exonerated. I fully expect to be exonerated in the other one. But there's some dynamics at play that we have to work through. And I know our board has done great works over the years as well, working with the budget, helping us get personnel that we need, trying to walk that balance between what the taxpayers are willing to pay and can pay, and what we need to do to take care of our personnel and provide needed services to the community. So everything's a balance, and I've been here 11 years, so it's probably not unusual for a fire chief. I know it's not unusual for a fire chief to sometimes be put in these positions after they've been around for a while.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll keep our eye on the news and see what's going on, and we wish you the best because
Thank you.
ever since I've known you, I've thought you've done a great job. I'm sure that you would probably agree, Chief Dura,
Absolutely.
and
Yes,
also
absolutely.
Conrad. I was surprised by the news that came down that morning, and so we'll just have to see how it all unfolds.
Yep. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Very good. Well, let's talk about something on a happier note,
All right.
and that is the first ever regional CAFMA PFD Fire Academy that is underway right now, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's one of the things that, we've talked in the past how it's difficult to recruit public safety personnel. And one of the things that we have done recently, CAFMA took the lead, we followed, is to not require Fire 1 and 2 certification when we ask for applications.
Okay.
And that requires a longer training academy up front than in the old model. Well, we figured it made a lot of sense because we respond together every day anyway, and we have a
Right.
lot of similar protocols, to join forces on that training academy. And absolutely, just last Monday, we kicked off the first combined training academy with 21 recruits, 7 of
Wow.
ours and 14 of theirs. And it was a great day to see that collaboration and that partnership really do something that significant.
Absolutely.
It was so cool to be in that room and see all the red shirts, and you had to look closely to see that the logos were different.
Yeah.
And we were talking in the lobby before we came in because Conrad's been around here longer than Holger and I have.
Right.
And clearly he looks better than us and can pull off those,
Absolutely.
Okay,
Especially
stay out
in
of
those hot
admin.
pants.
That's all it
Yeah.
takes.
those hot pants. But, over the years in the past, Prescott and CAFMA personnel have grown up together in the community. And more recently, we've been hiring a lot more people from outside the community. We have plans to try to build that pipeline, but for now we're hiring more people outside. So that connectivity that has existed for years starts to to dissipate a little bit when you're hiring people that don't know each other.
Sure.
So this is a great way for us to bring new firefighters together, train together, and then their careers will parallel each other, each other going forward. So,
Right.
Conrad, your thoughts on that?
No, and I think it's a good foundation to base it off of because, like you said, when I got hired on with people that I had grown up with, worked around, knew their families, and that outside aspect where we're pulling all those folks in. That's a good foundation to start. And you're bringing them all together, and they're going to progress. And I even made the comment, like, we are two different agencies, so it's kind of like a sibling thing. You know, there's a little bit of rivalry. Oh, no, we do this better. No, we don't. That kind of thing. But by the same token, we got each other's backs all the time, and we
Right.
do. And people don't. I don't think people that are. I think people that are unfamiliar with the fire service don't realize how good we have it here.
Right.
We have a lot of automatic aid agreements here. Where we don't care what the insignia is on the side of the rig, closest engine goes, because what's the priority? The priority is the people. So, and I use that, I have a story that I took an engine from Prescott to go fight fires in Southern California when they were having wildland fires. And there was a day there wasn't a fire in the morning. We parked it at a Forest Service ranger station, and it was in Lake Elsinore. A fire broke out on the other side of 6 lanes of highway. I told my crew, hey, go get your colors on. Let's go, And the Forest Service guys looked at me and said, what are you doing? I'm like, well, there's a fire, 300
there.
yards right there. And they're like, that's not ours. I go, it's right there. And they're like, no, that's what was CDF at the time. It's CAL FIRE now. And they're like, they'll call us when it's time to pick up the hose.
Oh my gosh.
And sure enough, we watched that thing go, like 100 acres over the course of the day. And 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they called up and asked us to go get hose. That's
Crazy.
not how we play here.
No.
We train together constantly. We are because of the common
Well,
goal
yeah,
to protect the
that's
people.
what I was just going to say. You have the same goal, and so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense that you're training together. Tell us, let's take a quick break, and on the other side, tell us a little bit about that training academy with the, what do you call them? Cadets, trainees, what do you call them?
Recruits.
Recruits. I knew there was a word. Tell us what the recruits can expect and how long it is, all the details, all right? Coming up here on Leza Live. Also, if you have a question, the phones are open, 928-541-1016. Put Drew to work this morning. Call in with your questions. Right now, lots of before and after pictures on Artful Eye's Facebook and Instagram pages. If you're not following Artful Eye, you need to do it. It's super, super cool to see old jewelry get a makeover and turned into something sparkly and brand new again. I highly recommend doing this. Clean out your jewelry boxes. Get all that jewelry that you're not wearing anymore. Maybe it's out of style. It needs to be repaired. And take it in and get a free jewelry design consultation. Super fun. And you get to repurpose what is just sitting in your jewelry box. They are experts at the Artful Eye Jewelers at turning your old jewelry into something you will love to wear again. Check them out. Smack dab in the middle of Whiskey Road, downtown Prescott. Welcome back, and thanks for hanging out with us. It's Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. We are chatting with CAFMA Chief Scott Freitag, Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura, and the Wildfire Risk Manager for Prescott's Fire Department, Conrad Jackson. And we were just talking about the first ever regional CAFMA PFD Fire Academy, 21 recruits. Working it out right now. Tell us a little bit about that academy, what they are experiencing, how long, and what happens once they're done.
So since we went to a green academy, and again, a green academy is we don't require firefighter 1 and 2, we've extended the academy to 15 weeks. And the first 9 weeks is about getting them to the firefighter 1 and 2 testing.
Okay.
But we have changed something up. It's a little dynamic. I was in Washington, D.C. working with some of the top researchers in firefighter health and safety. And so our approach to this academy is different. The first week, we're focused more on mental health and wellness, evaluating current physical ability of individuals, talking a lot about nutrition and hydration, getting people, building them up to really hit the ground, because once they hit the ground running on this, there's a lot of physical activity that goes into this academy. But the other side of this is the efficiencies created between Prescott and CAFMA working together. When you go to that academy today and look at it, you're going to see a Prescott engine and a CAFMA engine sit next to each other. We've set up access at the academy so that the Prescott personnel can work on workstations or on their computers just like they're in the city of Prescott. So I think it's going to be a great example of what we can continue to do, developing things together regionally.
Yeah, and the impact of an academy can't be understated. For instance, for us, we have a very thin training staff. And so when we even do the in-house academy that we did traditionally, it requires those personnel to basically focus only on that, which means all the other stuff that's still on their plate doesn't get done. Scott Ludeman, our essential services chief, he's all in. And then we pulled people offline, almost on a full-time basis just to be trainers in the academy. This partnership does help us a lot in making sure that, we still can do the other things that a fire department is responsible for, including those personnel. The other piece I think that's important is we are just in the middle of IGA approval. So we just redid the intergovernmental agreement between CAFMA and PFD. Our city council approved it at the last council meeting. It's going to their board meeting on Monday. And that is also going to codify some of these efficiency relationships, not just in training, but even in things like cooperative purchasing, fire investigations, and the way that we train together, which is really, really important. As I mentioned there, we kind of talked about the sibling rivalry. Good fences make good neighbors, but by us defining the relationship between the two entities, it actually makes it significantly more powerful and efficient.
And if you look at that just recently, any house fire pretty much that Prescott has within their jurisdiction, a CAFMA, at least one CAFMA engine will be part of it. And then if you look more recently in the Prescott Valley area with the Legato fire, we had the recent fire with the 3 fatalities. We had the 2 alarm apartment fire. Prescott engines were on that. We were all working together on one scene. The importance of us being able to work seamlessly so that people don't know what the difference is between the two can't be overstated, especially with the types of calls that we're having today.
Okay, so I have a question for you, and I'm just curious, since we are working so well together, why don't we just have one regional fire department? I mean, would that make sense? I don't know.
So I'm really glad you bring that up, because we did get that question quite a bit, especially like with what's going on with 478. So a couple of things there. First of all, the CAFMA authority is 2 district boards that are in a joint powers authority. We are a general sales tax department of the city.
Okay.
So that has to get blended. Is it possible? Yes, but it would take a significant political will, and it would also then have a fiscal impact on the taxpayers in Prescott. Now, not to say anything bad about CAFMA, but if we merged, let's say the Prescott Fire Department merged into CAFMA, the control for our services, which there is a significant amount of pride here in Prescott, would go into Prescott Valley. We are, you're always around when I say this, because I'm just saying it because I know it's kind of not true.
Right.
We are the oldest fire department in the state of Arizona. There's a significant amount of pride at Prescott Fire. It's not just about governmental structure. This is about community and hometown identity. And in no other American community that I can think of, other than maybe New York, does the fire department here have such a close connection with the community's identity. And the loss of that identity is a significant issue,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay. Well,
And and on our side, we brought CAFMA, we brought Central Yavapai and Chino together for efficiencies and funding. Because we're special districts in the state, our funding comes solely from property taxes. I know nobody likes that, nobody likes to hear it, but that's our sole funding source. So whereas the city has access to the opportunity for a public safety sales tax to fund, and everybody then pays for the services, we don't have that. Everything for us is reliant upon property taxes. So for us to be able to build the infrastructure we need, that means the only option is a bond, because we can't bring in enough general revenue from property taxes to cover those expenses. Where the city has this other funding mechanism we don't have access to.
Right.
So it makes sense for us to work very closely together, but
still stay separate.
yeah, we stay separate, but we act as one. And you see Chief Dura and I together all the time. You see our crews together all the time on incidents, and it's very efficient the way that we work, and more efficient than you see in a lot of places, as Conrad described.
Right. Okay. Very good. You know, we have to take one more break, and when we come back, we're going to get to wildland fire, because we just are dealing with one in Yarnell once again. How is that fire right now? Is it out?
It's out and
Okay.
basically just an overhaul and mop up
Okay.
at this point. Yeah.
Okay, very good. But there's a lot of things that happened with that fire that we need to talk about: the alert system, the evacuations, and a new system that we're implementing here in Prescott that everybody needs to know about. Okay, that's coming up here on Leza Live. Right now, ladies, if you're looking for a natural solution for hormonal imbalances, check out Prescott Women's Clinic. Their bioidentical hormone replacement therapy has been a game changer for so many women. With locations in Prescott and Prescott Valley, they make it super convenient for you to take care of yourself, but you have to make that first call and make the appointment. 928-778-4300 is the number. You can learn more and also make your appointment online at PrescottWomen'sClinic.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA, hanging out with Chiefs Freitag and Dura, as well as Conrad Jackson from the Prescott Fire Department. This morning we touched on it a little bit, the fire in Yarnell that I heard about yesterday. Did it start yesterday?
Yeah, it started yesterday.
Okay, and it was put out pretty quick. But the interesting thing about it was the notification of the evacuation needs in that community. You said it was how long?
6 minutes.
Okay.
So I saw a responding timestamp for 2:43 in the afternoon. By 2:49, there was an activation in the Genesis system for evacuations of the most affected area. And then the two adjacent areas were on a set status for potential evacuation. And the winds yesterday were scary, to say the least.
They
And so
absolutely
that
were.
thing could have got up and ripped and gone all kinds of different ways in that area.
So that 6-minute notification, is that faster than normal?
That is faster than normal. So the county has already brought on what is called Genesis Protect. And for the listeners there, I mean, if you want to go look at their website and even download their app, the address would be protect.genesis.com.
And it's
the
different.
Genesis is weird, though. It's SYS instead of SIS. But again,
Yes.
that's protect.genesis.com.
Okay.
And what the county had gone and done was divided the entire county into little blocks for notification purposes and evacuation purposes. And now the city of Prescott has done the same thing. We, Chief and I, have sat for the last couple months dividing the city into little blocks for notifications. And it behooves people to know what block they're in, because when a notification goes out, it'll say, PRC number 78 is being evacuated, and you're asking yourself, oh, am I in that one?
Right.
Fortunately, it pops up with a map, and you can just look at the map and go, oh, God, that's my neighborhood.
Right.
So the county was already on it. Now the city of Prescott's on board. We're doing the same thing. You'll see a lot more educational stuff coming out for people to really get this. Because if you stop and think about it, those people in Yarnell yesterday, they did. Who's thinking wildland fire right now? I mean, that's a May-June thing in our heads. It shouldn't be. It should be a year-round thing. But most people, I mean, if your phone went off and said, "Hey, it's time to evacuate," how ready are you?
Right.
And it's just not on your radar. So it's a year-round thing for us. People should have it on their phones so they can get that notification. Because if you're in, fixing, putting the kids down for an afternoon nap, you don't look out the window and see that there's a column of smoke.
Right. Yes.
People really need to step up and think about, how am I going to know that I need to leave my neighborhood?
Exactly.
And this is the way to make that happen.
Okay, and so the city of Prescott is going to install this, or we're going to use this system, this new Genesis system, which is different from the Ready, Set, Go that we've all signed up for.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a mixed metaphor,
Okay.
but let's go to where we're at. So
Okay.
like Connor said, the entire county's been on the system already. Ashley Alquist and OEM over there have been doing a great job.
Okay.
And we're about 8 to 14 months behind their deployment, but we are basically at the point now where this is literally, you're getting the exclusive here.
Look at this.
This is the first time we're publicly talking about
Nice.
the rollout of Genesis, because both of us feel comfortable. We're at that point now. We did a great tabletop exercise 3 weeks ago with all the law enforcement and fire agencies throughout Yavapai County out at CARTA. That went fantastic. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that we have gotten feedback. Conrad was at a restaurant not too long ago when he was eavesdropped on by a fire chief from California, and he said, "Hey, I couldn't but not overhear you talking about Genesis. I just need to tell you how amazing the software is. This was not a plant. This was, and really, wherever we've seen this happen, and yesterday was just another great example, it is probably the most flexible way of doing it. However, back to the where do people find information? Soon to come. We're going to get that out.
Okay.
Like I said, if you want to see kind of how it works, the county already has access to the app, and you can sign up for that. It's going to be one regional app, because obviously fires don't care about the jurisdiction.
Right.
But we will get a lot of messaging out so people know what their zone is. That's kind of what the tagline is, know your zone. When
Okay.
people see that, that's when they know it's the Genesis rollout. So
Okay. All right. Well, that's exciting, because like you said, I mean, wildland fire is always a threat in our community. I live in the Mountain Club. I was evacuated during the Indian fire. It was not fun, to say the least. It was very scary. And had we not known it was time to go, we could have been in a serious situation.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I'm happy to hear that this new system is going to be implemented by not only the county but the city as well, because the faster you know, the better it is.
And it is a super fast system, and that's one of the reasons we're utilizing it, is that literally the folks on site can pull up an app and they can select, I need these zones. Boom, 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 boom. They select it, notify it, gets pushed out to the administrator, says it green lights it for it to go public, and boom. All these people get notifications on their phone saying it's time to evacuate. The media groups, Radio groups get notifications to know that it's time to evacuate.
Right.
In what areas. It's really fast, really efficient.
And just a reminder for people, if you live in CAFMA's jurisdiction, you're actually under the county system.
Okay.
So CAFMA doesn't need to implement the system separately. It's through the county. We're a separate governmental entity, but we work directly with Ashley and her team.
Right.
So if you're within CAFMA's jurisdiction, you're already on Genesis with the county as long as you've signed up for it.
Perfect.
Oh, you live in Mountain Club. How much time do we have left?
Hey, we're going to talk about that.
Are we going to talk
we
about
need
that?
to talk about wildland preparedness, fire adapted community, all that stuff coming up after this quick break. Thank you. Stay with us. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. Okay, so we mentioned it last segment. We always have a risk of wildfire in our area. It's not just the beginning of the monsoon. I mean, I used to hold my breath at the beginning, waiting for the rain. And when the rain would come, I felt a sense of relief that we got past that. But like we just noticed with Yarnell, it is always there. And so let's talk a little bit about a fire-adapted community and wildland fire preparedness.
I think fire-adapted community is kind of a new term in people's vocabulary around here because for decades we've talked firewise. And I think that's well ingrained, at least to all the locals. Some of the new folks are still calling me on a regular basis asking for what does that exactly mean? But I think the chief's intent right now is that we actually start looking at that fire-adapted community. And that's more of a holistic approach and recognition that it's not just the homeowner doing something around their home. It's all the aspects of it. Is, are your firefighters prepared? Do we have insurance? Do we have evacuation notifications or reentry notifications? How would you know when you could go back to your house after there was a fire? Genesis would do that for you. It did yesterday. Right. So that holistic approach. But it all does start with that fundamentals of being firewise. And when you look at firewise, for the homeowner themselves, it all starts with the home and how safe is your home, because 80% of the homes that get consumed in a wildland fire are because the ember storm. And we saw with the Legato fire, we saw embers go
Absolutely.
2 miles that were as big as your fist. So people get suckered because they're like, oh, I live in the middle of Prescott. I don't live next to the National Forest. You live within 2 miles of the National Forest.
Right.
You're at risk.
Right.
So starting with the home, do people have their decks cleaned off of materials, or they stacking firewood against their house? They got wicker furniture on their patios, porches, etc. All those aspects. Are they cleaning their rain gutters? Are they cleaning the hips on the roofs? Pine needles, leaf litter. If we can start there, that's a great place to start.
Okay.
And then after that, you're looking at that first 5 feet. The science shows us that if you have no vegetation within the first 5 feet of the home, even at 6 or 7 feet out, if a bush or a tree is on fire, the structure itself can take a bit of a beating and survive that. So that first 5 feet is super, super important to have no vegetation. Now, I know that there's plenty of homes around here that have photinias and roses and lilacs and stuff right within
Guilty.
that 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So
It's
if
pretty.
I'm gonna tell you, I have a lilac too, Lisa.
Okay,
It's okay.
thank you.
So I tell people the same thing. I said, if you're gonna make a bad decision like having vegetation within 5 foot of your house, make
Okay.
good bad decisions. Keep it from getting above like chest high for your
Okay.
plants.
Okay.
Trim off the like knee high stuff down there so you can clean out the leaf litter underneath it, and for heaven's sakes, put it on irrigation. So if you're going to make bad choices, make good bad choices.
Okay.
And beyond that, we're just looking at limiting fuels. And I'm happy to come out to anybody's house and give them ideas on how they can improve their home. And in fact, the city just backed us in purchasing a new defensible space inspection software that will allow me to very, very efficiently track what you need to do, take pictures, draw circles, arrows, etc., and create a list for you. Like, these are all the things that would improve your home.
Right.
And then that document then goes and lives in the cloud, and you and I can both look at it. So
Right.
you can refer back to it and pull stuff off of it and say, hey, I can fix this, fix that. And it's a shared document. And then say your insurance company comes along and you want to show them how good your house is, you can print out that report, hand it to your insurance
Oh, that's
company.
wonderful right
Yeah.
now. Because we're hearing a lot of people not being able to renew their insurance, or it's not available because of certain things that out of our control. Didn't you tell me about a church or something in town that you just saved them a ton of money on their insurance?
The synagogue.
Synagogue.
The insurance company denied them insurance, said they're going to get canceled at the end of the month. So I went out there and showed them, like, please do all these things to make your facility more fire-wise. And so they went back and did all the things I asked. I went back, I took a bunch of pictures. I filed a big, 3-page report documenting, kind of like what this digital thing is going to be. But I did this report, gave it to them. Not only did they get their insurance back, but instead of being charged $11,000 a year, they're only being charged $3,000 a year. So I saved
Wow.
the synagogue $8,000.
That is amazing.
And it's really cool. Actually, immediately after I leave here, I'm actually going out and meeting with the synagogue, and we're gonna try to make this be on public awareness. That,
Right.
this insurance issue is huge for
Yes.
Prescott, and it's not just homeowners; it's businesses. It's the insurance companies are looking at our whole community, so we need to think like a community, not just as a independent property owner.
So how will this information be available, or this service that people can use to create the defensible space around their homes?
So they can reach out to me, and my number is 928-777-1700, and that's the main line into Prescott Fire Department. And
Okay.
then my extension in particular is 7065. And so they can schedule it with me, and I will come out and we'll utilize that new software to get them a document that they can use going forward.
That's awesome. What a great resource.
I'm super excited about
I
it.
can tell. I can
You're talking about Conrad, right? I just keep smiling at everything that he does.
I
It's just
know. I know.
Makes me happy.
Yes, he does a great job
Not
and
even
has
in
done.
silver
I thought you
lame.
retired.
I did retire.
Never.
yes.
You
I
could
made him
never
an offer he
retire.
couldn't refuse.
Good for you. You're a smart man. All right. Well, we're out of time. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank
this
you.
is something we could talk about, every week. It's something really important. It's great information for everybody that lives here. So thank you for coming in.
Thanks for
and
having
good
us.
luck to you. Chief Freitag, we're
Thank
cheering
you,
for
Lisa.
you. You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
All right. Thank you for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow.